them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. Today we got a few topics we want to talk about, but the hottest on there is it's an interesting one, so stay tuned. But before we get started introducing the topics, talking us way through everything as usual, Jalen, Josh, update the people on how you're doing, what's going on, what you've been doing the last few days. Have you been surviving the heat? It's a heat crisis out there right now.
Yeah, it's been hot out here on the East Coast, but I'm always inside and it's always air conditioned, so I've been cool. But we have went out a couple times just to go swimming and enjoy the warm weather. Not much actually happened for me this week. Like y'all, I've been on a game finishing spree. I haven't finished anything this week though, because I've just been playing multiplayer stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you don't got air conditioning, hope you find a way to stay cool. And I mean, it's probably gonna be
Worse.
like this, yeah, for a while. So
It's gonna get worse, people.
gotta figure something out.
But because August is the hottest, really, and it ain't even August yet. Jeez. So, yeah, it's gonna get hot, people. What about you, Jalen? You beating the heat, having fun, enjoying yourself?
Uh, I mean, everything been straight, man. I'm just trying to get things situated, like as far as like moving and all that stuff goes. But
Mm-hmm.
so with that being said, I actually was having like car problems and stuff. So just like heat wave and every, excuse me, this little heat wave and everything. I just been in the crib playing like Multiversus, like cleaning up, getting things situated, applying for job stuff like that. So to be honest with you, I ain't really been outside like that. So the sun ain't got nothing on me. I definitely been having that AC blowing in my crib, so gotta stay
Yeah,
cool, man.
absolutely. I just got my first light bill when the AC been on. I said, God, doggy. I think it's still a decent, but I was like, geez, Louise, are we cranking that mug for real, for real? So had to simmer that down a little bit, but outside of that, I just been chilling, playing multiverses as well. That's gonna be one of the bigger topics today, but we're gonna be talking about that a little bit later. But yeah, I've been just hanging out. I did my first real golf outing yesterday. That was interesting. It I actually am not that bad. I took one lesson before, and I never played. I play a lot of Top Golf, or tried to go out there and hit and swing and try to work on my swing. But when I actually went to play, it was really about learning how the etiquette and all that stuff, not talking while people swinging, and making sure you don't step on someone's line as they're going in for a putt, or doing weird stuff. It was a lot of that, just learning how to, not to do that type of stuff. But really, mechanically, I was pretty sound on being able to continuously make contact with the ball. It was more about positioning, making sure I'm not hitting too hard. Basically, I had to turn back my power, because I would just hit it so hard every time that it would just blow past where I needed it to go, especially when it came to putting and stuff like that. So just learning how to, finesse it is really key. I did really good when it came to popping the ball up, making sure it stays in a good, like, even if I'm not the best at spinning, but it's like the ways you hit it to kind of get it on the green, if you have like a heel or whatever. I did okay on that, but really focused on my drives and just trying to, get downfields. We had like a 400 for the golf people out there, 434 yard, or goal, or I forget what they call it now. They it's the hole. Yeah, 434 yards for the hole, and I got there in 2 swings. So yeah, I was smacking that mug, man. I was really doing it some distance with it, but I just really need to learn how to control the finesse at the end because that really was messing up. I was getting like uh, bogeys, double bogeys, but at least I wasn't getting +4s. So for all the golf people out there, you should know what that means. But yeah, it was fun. I actually gonna buy a set of golf clubs. From we was playing with someone and they offered to provide some old set that they did not need anymore because I was borrowing a set to play. So I'm going to get a golf set and hopefully I have some more fun out there. But it was really enjoyable. But in the position I'm in now, I do play a lot of golf, so I gotta get better at that. Anywho's, that was fun. Um, Moving on. Let's get right into it, people. We know what we're here for. We're here to argue. Isn't that right, Josh? Jalen? We're arguing about this. Multiversus. First, let's everybody give their opinion about
Nothing to
Multiversus.
argue about. It's all
It's plenty to argue about, especially with you guys, especially with you two Smash Bros, Smash loving people. And probably the rest of the world because I'm probably on the I'm on the side of like the least amount of people think this way. But Jalen, Josh, who want to go first on how they feel about Multiversus?
Hey, you want to take this one, Jalen?
No, I mean, I'm trying to think multiverse. How to win there? Spin to win. Spin. That's all you gotta do is spin. Get a Taz and start spinning. Spin to your heart's content.
Double
Attack,
tag.
decay, double Taz. Who cares? You need 2 Taz. We don't care about that attack decay. Keep using the same thing. Keep spinning, bro. You ain't won yet. Keep spinning. Just like Naruto, make a bigger Rasengan if the smaller one don't work. Then make another bigger. Make it even bigger. Just keep doing it, bro. You gonna win eventually. But no, seriousness though. I think Multiversus, it's a cool game. Like I like it. It's different. It's a toned down Smash Bros. I think it's interesting that they got like perks and different things that you can put on your character, and I like that it's focused on like 2v2 versus like I mean Smash you can do that, but I don't feel like Smash is as focused as like with the 2v2 because you got like perks and stuff that can kind of help your teammate, and then certain people got abilities that can help your teammate. Some of that stuff in Smash to some capacity, but it's not as like it's not specifically made for that. So but I mean, like I said, it's a cool game. I think Smash. I won't definitely say it's a Smash clone, but it's going for the same thing. And I think it's like, if we want to call it a Smash clone, it's definitely one of the better ones. And I think they got some diligence in it compared to some of the other ones that we might have seen when we was younger. You know, like Teen Titans or Digimon Rumble Arena. You know, just some of those games. I never really played Brawlhalla, so I can't really speak on that. But yeah, so
Okay,
it's cool.
Cool. So we got Jalen saying it's a cool game. Very much so a downgrade to Smash. So Smash is still superior in a lot of ways, but he is enjoying it for what it is. Josh.
Yeah, I think it's a really fun game. It came out in its like open beta or like preview to the open beta or whatever, and we've been playing a lot of it. Like Jalen said, I do like the 2v2 aspect of it in some ways. I feel we might get into it. I feel like it's a lot of good and like refreshing ideas, like being able to help out your teammate with certain abilities. That's more in depth than what you can do in like Smash. And Smash is just more about both of y'all just playing good. But in this game, it has like a little bit more mechanics to maybe help out your teammate in sticky situations. However, Taz might mess all that up anyways. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's a fun free game, and I think that as long as it can like stay relevant and add like good progression, then people will be interested in it. I personally, like Jay said, I feel like it's a lot more toned down than Smash, mechanically and in a lot of other ways. But it can still be like a fun I don't know, free to play game that's a Smash clone because there aren't many that fit in that space. The ones that ask for money, they usually just don't have the same level of quality as Smash.
Mhm.
So this one being completely free is its biggest
Draw.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, biggest draw.
So we all in the same agreement. I'm not gonna repeat what y'all said because I am in agreement with most of that. Outside of it being far superior, not far superior, but better to me than Smash, and that's only because of the 2v2 and the online systems, uh, and the ability to not have to just be better at the opponent, but you just can be better at synchronizing with your friend. Um, the argument came into place for me, one, saying that, well, it was the one thing that I said because I never said it was better than Smash till now. I'm literally saying now that I like it more than Smash. I'm not saying that it's better. I just prefer it over Smash. I don't play Smash for a reason. I think it's very boring because it's the simplest of it. It's just the same thing. I have to either get better at the game to be interested, or I have to play in a way that I don't find fun. So I'm just never
I
gonna play it like that way. So,
I
anyways,
think
go ahead.
before going forward, I think we should all put our stance on Smash, like not as far as how we like it as a game, but like the way we play it. Because I feel like the three of us like play it like differently. Maybe that give people more context to like how that can relate to multiverses for the people that do play Smash and does play multiverses too. Because clearly we ran it across some people that play Smash on that game, like you can tell.
Yeah, we definitely ran across the people that play Smash. So, yeah, I mean, always add more color. That's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my stance on Smash, at first I used to play it a little bit more like casually and stuff like that, but I'm kind of one of the like I ain't gonna say I'm an extremist and I go like the tournaments. I played in some tournaments before, but like me and my friends we play that game like pretty hardcore, like talking about like 2 frames and like a lot of the little specifics in the game or whatever. So it's kind of to the point where I don't really like playing with people that don't know how to play the game. So I'm kind of one of those people now, but I don't take pride in doing that. It's just I just like competitive games sometimes. So, but yeah,
Yeah, like you made a good point, Jalen. Like I started playing Smash casually just with my brothers, and that's how I feel like I enjoyed it the most. Where it's just like any character on random maps with all items on, and it's just a party game. And that's where Smash like started for me and for a lot of people. But as I got older, and like since Smash is like it doesn't really have a strong online component, you are most likely always going to play it local. So when I moved away from my brothers, and I'm in college, and I meet up with Jalen and stuff like that, I'm playing with people who are a lot better and like competitive at the game. And so now we're doing elimination with no items, and it's like just about skill and really learning the game. And I feel like I learned the game, how it actually works and how deep the mechanics actually are. And it's a lot of fun in some ways. But now that I've gotten at that level, whereas like I'm thinking about it competitively, like I said, I can't go and just play it with my little cousins or anything like that because it's like it's not even we're not playing the same type of game. And so that's how I feel about it. I do think Smash competitively is really fun, and I feel like it's easy to like misunderstand its mechanics just because like it how to put it it's the mechanics are deep, and just like any fighting game, you have to like actually put in the time and learn the characters and learn the matchups and what has more priority and other stuff and iframes and stuff like that. But once you delve fully into it, like I think Smash is like a really really good fighting game.
Okay. You guys already know my stance. I kind of already said it. I find this game more enjoyable, so that doesn't. I don't really have much fight in the game in regards to Smash. It's more of Smash is a game that I was introduced by. Um, I played it like twice when I was a kid. I got introduced to Smash at college with these two guys that play it that play it on a different level. So I never could enjoy it and never wanted to spend time to get better, just to play them more because it was just like, yeah, I missed the train for that, as well as I didn't find it fun. Uh, the reason why we played, and that goes back into my philosophy of team versus me has always been that way for me. Whether I'm playing Destiny or if I'm playing Call of Duty, if I'm playing something else, Call of Duty was never fun for me to get the most kills. It was always fun just to win the game and pull out something to help my team. So that's just my philosophy on what is important and when it comes to gaming. So that is always has always been the best times for me. So yeah, I just didn't care to play the 1v1s and try to get better. It just didn't make sense. But I do understand what Smash is and the technical aspects of Smash. So it's not necessarily that I don't agree that the Smash is a good game. It's just not the game for me. So when I said this, it kind of went a little different than what I expected. I was just putting out a statement and it or a felt or something I'm feeling, and I guess it kind of went different. Understanding that I am someone that enjoys to party up and win fights and actually come together, and understand that the games that I've played like that have always succeeded in a way others couldn't. I always thought the premise of that was more important than whether or not it was the most technical game. So when I played Multiversus and I played it with Jalen and I played it with Josh, and I was like, this game is actually fun for this, and this reason. I stated to them that this game could potentially be bigger than Smash at some point. I gave it a time frame. I said maybe 5 to 6 years from now. And I know that seems a little close, but the ability to actually grow comes from word of mouth, the ability to have other people feel like they can compete, simplicity, and access. Multiverses have every one of those things. So from what my understanding is that and I'm thinking of it from a business point. Sometimes I do that, but also from it could be bigger than that game in itself, and in regards to success. Obviously, it's going to definitely have more success if it monetizes correctly and actually does the things that it needs to. It's already has the ability to get my dollar from the amount of time I've spent with it, more than Smash could ever. Because simply put, I'm introduced to Smash by other people. I normally play that locally, and I don't care to own a copy of it myself. So when I said that, I got a lot of rebuttals, and I would like you guys to kind of talk through what those rebuttals were again on the mic, because I understand you guys I understand what you guys were saying, and I kind of want them to hear how you said it, as well as maybe if I have something else after that, I want to kind of let everybody get on the same page again. So that was my statement. I'm gonna let you guys tell out your mouth. I don't want to say what you guys said. So I go Josh first.
Oh, cool. I like we argued a lot about it, but from the fundamental point is that like I don't think that this Multiversus is a bad game or is not going to be successful. But for me, it was just that I think that its success is completely different than what Smash's success is, and so I don't agree that it could ever be bigger than Smash, because I think that if that's their goal, I think that it's a bad goal for a new company with a new game to like say we gonna beat Smash, because that's the problem with all Smash clones, is that they think they're gonna beat Smash and that they're not. Because you have to beat Smash at everything that it's good at, and I think that everybody can agree Smash's online infrastructure is terrible. It's the worst part of the game. If it had good online, then really nobody would even be complaining about Smash. But Multiverses, that's one of its strong points. Right now, it has good online. We can get on with 4 people in a match. There is some lag and stuff like that, but overall, it feels like we can consistently get matches and complete them without too much trouble. Um, but as for everything else, I think Multiverses is okay. Like its character choices are okay. Um, its music is not really good. Its overall presentation is not that spectacular. Like it's it's a decent game, but when putting it up against Smash, where Smash has like the, a huge roster with a bunch of recognizable characters that people, not everybody, are interested in, but they are video game characters, and it's appealing directly to a video game audience. Whereas Multiversus is pulling from a lot of stuff. It's pulling from HBO TV shows, pulling from movies, it's pulling from like Looney Tunes and all types of stuff. And it's like not everybody is gonna care. Like I've never watched anything about Steven Universe, so I don't care about that personally. But obviously you can say the same thing about Smash. There are characters that you don't care about. But the whole point is that Smash has built a reputation on its quality as far as like picks of characters, like, and all of the production that goes into them. Like, I mean, all that to say that Smash is doing a lot of good stuff other than its online, and I think for Multiverses to be more successful than Smash, and for me to feel like it's deserving to be more successful than Smash, I feel like it should be actually better and not just like doing one thing really good.
Okay. All right. Jalen.
So just real quick, another thing, even though I play Smash super technical, I try to get away from like playing it. I try to get, I want to be competitive, but I don't want to be, the Smash community is toxic. I don't want to get to that toxic level. So that means looking up frame data, the little patch notes, all that type of stuff. Like I try not to look at that stuff. I just play the game for what it is and just be good at what I do in the game. So keeping that in mind, like Josh said, I agree with a lot of different things that he has said. I think if you shooting to be a Smash clone, or better, trying to be in the same genre as Smash, I think you like shooting for the wrong mark. I think you should try to be your own game, do something different. And I feel like that's the reason why we still got things like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat around. Those games been on forever, but they do different things and they got different things that make them great. So from like the overall presentation of the game, I think it's cool. I think it's I mean, like graphically wise, I don't really know what they shooting for. I mean, it look cartoony and stuff like that, but I just feel like it could look a lot cleaner and stuff. Especially with like the consoles and stuff that we plan on. I feel like Smash look way better, and that's on the Switch versus, you know what I'm saying, the way like Multiversus and stuff look.
Yeah, even Smash on the Wii U looks better, but I don't think that's like Multiversus' fault. Sorry to cut you off, but it's just like they spend so much money on Smash that you can see the quality of it, and Multiversus is not on that same level.
Yeah, it's felt like it's like a Fortnite, so I don't know if they cutting corners in that regard or what they actually shooting for. I will say, like Josh said, the online infrastructure is Smash. I don't like playing Smash online. I'm not like Smash groups. People be talking about they GSP and Elite Smash, all these different things, and it's like I don't partake in it just because it's like it's a lot of lag. I think they use peer to peer. It's no dedicated servers and stuff like that, and it's just not. It just ain't. It ain't no point. Like most people that play Smash and stuff, if you really want to be good at it, they play locally, and people usually want GameCube controllers because of mountain latency with the wireless controllers and all this other type of stuff. So you got that. I mean, the characters and stuff in the game, I'm not a huge fan of like WB characters. To be completely honest with you, I don't even know what's associated with WB. I was told earlier this week by either you or Josh or Deontay that WB is like all a Cartoon Network and all that type of stuff. So it's cool that they got a lot of versatility to add like different characters and stuff like that. They had somebody from Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones, but it's cool that they there. You know what I'm saying? We got the versatility to create a large roster. But I just don't feel like the characters been around long enough. They got that much of a staple. We got usually like Smash is video game characters and they put into a video game to expand the world. These are like characters. You got people from like Game of Thrones. You got LeBron James. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got different characters. LeBron James. You got these characters that's coming in the game to fight. And that's cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking it away and stuff like that. I'm just saying like saying something that's going to like overwrite Smash or be better than Smash and stuff. I just don't feel like the characters are interesting enough. The backstory, and it's just kind of like, all right, we got Finn in here, Finn from Adventure Time. You don't got no backstory, but all right, well, they got Sora and came from in Smash Bros. And you know this, and that, and oh, he got this move from this game and all this type of stuff. So you got different things that people do in the games. You go, oh, that's sweet. They put that move in the game. I remember he had first learned this move. So like, you feel a little bit more connected with the characters versus like, all right, well, Jake, he can transform and stuff like that. It's cool that he in here, but I mean, I don't bear no connection to this dude. So it's like that. And then just going for like the competitive scene. I just don't feel like Multiversus have enough specifics in the game. Technical, like, I don't think it's technically like sound to be like a heavy competitive game, because most of the fighting games that people play, like you can play them on a casual level, then you can play them on a competitive level. Then you got the competitiveness where people understand the game down to a T, where that separate the goods from the greats, and they know input and a buffer system that might be in a game, or they know all those sorts of things. Like people love when they have, you know what I'm saying? I remember seeing a Street Fighter video that somebody perfect guarded a X amount of hit combo every single one where they had a sliver of health and they turn around and won the game. So it's like those sorts of things like is the technical things that makes the game that's going to separate those people or whatever. I feel like Multiversus is cool. It's like a get in, get out type of game. You don't need to, you know what I'm saying, be like super sweet. Like you said, it's a 2v2 system. It's a lot of cop outs, and then don't even get me started with the hitboxes and stuff in the game, but just keeping it on a competitive scene. Like it's just, I don't know, man. It's just a lot of like weird, like wonky stuff that occurs within the game. And I just don't see that it would overwrite Smash, because Smash just got this big competitive community and stuff that further perpetuates the game, and something that they kept Melee relevant, and Melee came out in 2001, and it's 21 years later, and that game is still relevant because of that competitive scene. Like I don't foresee Multiversus staying around like that.
The hardcore communities are usually what like keep games relevant, because like casual people are gonna play it. It's fun, but they're not gonna talk about it or like post videos about it or just like keep it completely relevant for the longest time. That's why games like I think Killer Instinct is really good. It's like people say it's one of the best fighting games, but like the casual community fell off that game pretty quickly. But it's like the hardcore community that like kept it coming back and showing up at like tournaments and stuff like that. So same thing with Multiversus. I think it will always be successful, and I think it's good to be successful because the developers did a good job and it might be worth it. But like they have a whole lot to overcome to keep it like replace Smash, because like if you think about it, if they're both in tournaments and all fighting game tournaments have their like grand finals, and the grand finals is usually the most popular game. It's like Mortal Kombat 11 when they came out, Fighter Z when they came out, Smash to some extent, but it's like, can Multiversus fit in that spot where it's gonna replace Smash or replace a different fighting game is like the most competitive or the most interesting? Probably not, but it can still be its own thing on the side where it just gets people to come in, jump out, spend a couple bucks on a costume and like play the game with your friends.
Yeah, the game is definitely have capacity to be relevant. On a marketing standpoint, the game is free to play. It's on a lot of different consoles and, you know, PC and stuff like that. It got cross-play. The game, it got dedicated servers. The online is way better than Smash. Like, from like an infrastructure standpoint, the game has potential to like definitely stay relevant. I mean, I'm invested in the game. It's a doggone free to play the game. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you're trying to shoot to blow Smash out the water, be better than Smash, you're shooting for the wrong mark because Smash already have its staple. It's the same thing as just trying to. Well, I'm shooting to be better than Michael Jordan and stuff like that. Obviously, you got people that, you know what I'm saying, you can argue all these different little facts and statistics and stuff like that, but universally, everybody recognize Michael Jordan to be the best basketball player. And I think that's what LeBron James at this point, he done wise up and be like, I don't really care about being quote unquote better than Michael Jordan. I'm shooting for a different mark and I'm finna hit this, and this milestone so I stay relevant. So I just think Multiverse, as long as they going for that and they keep updating the game, because Nintendo don't like to update their games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The games just be there. They support an online type of stuff. It just ain't. Nintendo, they fell back 10 years or something after like the GameCube and stuff. But Multiverses, I can see them having them patches, them little hot fixes, all these different things just going on, and they want to rebalance the game and make certain guns stronger, or not guns, but like characters similar to what they might do to Apex and stuff like that to keep things relevant. I think all that's fine. They just need to make sure they're not attempting to be better than Smash and just try to be good in their own ways, where maybe a byproduct would be that they eventually is a more favorite game and better than Smash. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, and then they need to fix the little spammy game because it's not a lot of moves in that game. And Smash, you got back airs, neutral airs, you got these properties, and that game just, I feel like it ain't a lot of moves. And then the sensitivity to like the buttons and stuff like that. I like how they incorporated like dead zones and stuff in your controller and stuff, so you can move your thing slightly or move it a certain way and stuff. But I can't put my finger on it, but it's like when I try to do different moves or to move in this direction or something like that, it almost be like, all right, well, A do this I'm playing on the Xbox. A does this attack and it does this attack, but because you're facing this way and you did that attack, we gonna do this attack instead of doing like the down smash. Like it's just like that was kind of like a bad like explanation, but it reminded me of the buffer system that they got in Smash Ultimate, but it's like a lot worse. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they buffer system is really like strong. Like you doing an attack and you do like a second attack by mistake or even purposely, but the window of time that it has to accept like that buffer is pretty long. So you end up doing the attack where you didn't think it registered. Whereas like other games, it wouldn't even take that second input because it's like, oh, you still doing this one, and we gonna get that because you didn't do it at the right time.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of that. I'm just kind of like, bro, I really didn't want to do that, but I mean, it's not fine. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, that was long winded and stuff like that. But overall, I'm not saying the game horrible or nothing like that. I'm definitely playing. I might get the battle pass. Y'all know I don't do battle passes, but you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like they got a lot of upside to it. So
basically, we saying Smash the best fighting game ever. So what you got to say about that, Deontay?
Y'all talked a lot. That's all I'm saying. For a game ain't got much, y'all talked a lot. So that's one of my key points is that you kept saying that I said I was better. I don't think it said I was better. But if I did say that, I apologize. I did not mean to say it was better or replaced. I said it's going to be bigger. As in, people were going to be more interested or more eyes were going to be on this game over Smash. And that's different. That's different than saying something is better. I never said it was better because I don't think at this point in time that game could possibly be better than Smash. What I say is over time that game will either be bigger or have just more pupils associated, or even like the stats of how many players have been engaging with this game and being able to say, I understand how to play Multiversus over I understand how to competitively play Smash. And that's the key. The key to them being bigger is simply doing what Nintendo won't. And we know they won't because they haven't done it. It's been many iterations of Smash, and it's been the same thing over and over again. It's basically a very hyped up Mario Party. To me, I just feel that way. I don't feel like it's that very much so. I understand that it's technical, but I feel like any game can be technical, especially ones that have certain things, aerials, movement, spacing, and counters and dodges, blocks. I feel like any game could be technical if it has certain components. So I disagree with the point of it not being as technical because I don't really care that it's as technical. I just know that it is technical in some capacity. You have to understand some of its mechanics and have to understand what other people can do. So that makes it enough of a technical game to fit in that space, but it's not going to be as technical. That's a different category. That's a different thing. Second thing I wanted to say was when you guys kept talking about the characters. There's plenty of characters in Smash that I had no idea. I go back and try to play their games, and they sucked. And most of the time, I didn't know these characters until I saw them in Smash, and then I will go back and play their said games. But it was never oh, this character is iconic. The only iconic person I ever knew was Snake and Pikachu. Everything else was kind of Bulb. There was no real connection to Mario or any of these characters. As much as you guys want that to be the essence of the game, I truly don't think it was that. I think that the game was good because it was on Nothing Like It, which is great because when nothing's like it, you really can only play with that to get what you want out of it. So when there's nothing like that and they have these, I can't say that they're not iconic characters because they can fit into a box and they have these characters in their roster. So yes, they're iconic. Some of these characters didn't the games didn't sell well. They didn't have much of a showing, or people wouldn't know who they were unless they saw it in Smash. They wouldn't take it out of that game and they'd be like, I know I played this game before, whatever that dude's name is. No, I didn't play the Diddy Kong games. I didn't play Donkey Kong games. It was just they were there because I've seen them before in a picture, but it's not like I've ever entertained
But
them like that.
knew who Joker was.
Joker as in Persona?
Yeah, the trailer that they saved to the end of the Game Awards because people was hyped for Joker being in Smash.
But that's somebody outside of Smash.
No, he's in Smash.
I know he's in Smash now, but I'm saying that's the way.
Just like LeBron wasn't in the game, and then they showed LeBron. Now he's in the game. It's the same thing with Joker.
But I'm saying what I'm trying to say about the characters is that I don't feel like the amount of emphasis your guys are putting on them being iconic and having this great roster. I think you can do that with any mainstream media company if you do it right. There's nothing they're doing that I don't see Multiversus doing. I don't see them not being able to take cartoon characters that I actually grew up watching more than I ever have with any Nintendo character. And I could literally say that would be more interesting to me to play with than this. And that's enough. That is what I'm saying. I'm saying that is enough to say that the characters could be on equal standing. I'm not saying that they don't have a different space. These are actual video game characters. Half of the video games I didn't play, but they are video game characters. But these are things I actually engage with in a different way, in media format that actually have more of my time. So I cannot say that these characters are just obviously better. I can't say that, but I can say they're equal.
I understand that, and it's my bad to put it on that to say just because these are Smash characters, they're automatically more iconic. That's not true for all people because everybody got different experiences, blah, blah, blah. And every Smash character I didn't even know before I played the game. However, this is a fighting game. And fighting games are made up of their roster. And the roster is two things: who the character is and what the character can do in the game. And when we are comparing apples to apples, Multiversus has iconic characters. Everybody will agree Batman is iconic.
Yeah.
Just like everybody can agree, Cloud is iconic. And some characters are going to be better choices than others. Like obviously, Cloud is way more exciting than just like um
But that's to the video gaming community.
that's not what I'm saying. I said obviously Cloud is more exciting than Banjo Kazooie. He's the more excited character in Smash in the same game. He's the better choice. Some of the choices in Smash are not good choices. Same thing in Multiversus. Some of the characters like Superman are good choices. Other characters are not going to be characters that people are actually interested in until they play them. However, the roster playing what we had, like their moves in Multiverses are way simplified and a lot more unbalanced, and it doesn't feel like to me with the roster that they have right now on the competitive level that it's going to be like people are always going to be excited for the next character coming out because like they're going to put what Harry Potter in the game, for example. It's like, okay, do people actually care to play this character just because he's coming to the game? I don't know. And for a fighting game, Smash has characters that are recognizable, but on a technical level, they're still fun to play on some level. Multiverses, I feel like they will have some characters that are interesting, like choices, but is it actually going to make me want to buy the character because they are asking for money for these characters? Like, I don't know. I only have Wonder Woman and Harley in the game, and I'm probably not going to buy anybody else because I don't find them fun to play. And that's the game's fault. That's not Smash's fault.
Okay. So that is fine. That is a sentiment for an individual and not the whole. So I understand what you're saying. Your point is that they have to be fun to play in order for you to continue to purchase and want to play. Not to say that your opinion is the opinion of the masses is different. I understand what you're saying though. I get it that if they're too simplified and they don't have any type of legitimacy or even um, technical aspect to them that they don't seem like they're worth playing or getting better at, then I understand that. But we went against Tom and Jerry today, and it made me feel like, well, okay, this is an expert character, and he was doing stuff that I've never seen anybody else do, and I felt like, well, if he's doing these things and he's spacing these things well, and he's actually not getting hit, he's not cheating, he's not doing anything that's not in the game already. So that makes me want to say, well, maybe I should try and see what he can do and then see if I can replicate. If I can't replicate it, then obviously that individual is just better than me. I can't say he was cheating, but I can say he might be better than what I was able to do with that character. Just like when I play a Wonder Woman or I play another Taz and they kind of compete and they do things that I couldn't see them doing with mechanics in the game. Just like in Smash. In Smash, there's plenty of characters that I've played with multiple times, and you guys will play with the same character and do way more better things than I. I think it's a simple character, but you unlock what that character can truly do once you continue to play it and really understand what it is. As long as it has that game is considered technical to me. It's a level. It's a learning curve. So I still don't believe that your time with the game has shown everything that this game has to offer. And to say that you have seen it all means that you haven't actually did. To me, it just seems as if it's dismissive because you feel like it's simple enough that you kind of can understand it in that way that you don't have to engage in the other characters. But in most of the time, if you're playing Smash competitively, you have to at least know what everyone can do. And if you haven't seen what everyone can do, then how can you say you've actually you already seen what everything it can offer? So I get what you're saying.
I mean,
I understand that.
so
I was just going to say, like, also, since it's a fighting game, you're going to play the characters that you like. Like me, I never choose meta characters unless it's a character I like. Like, if I don't like Shaggy, I don't care if Shaggy is, like, winning all matchups against every character. If I don't like him, I'm never going to pick him. And so that's the thing. Same thing with Smash. I only play with certain characters. I never play with Mario or Luigi or any of the other characters I don't like.
But you know what they can do, right?
Because I fight them.
Yeah.
But what
I
guess
be
I
playing
ask you
with
this,
Mario.
Jalen. I can ask you this, Jalen. Like, I feel like the roster is not. What do you think of the roster of Multiversus? Because I think right now it's not strong. Like, compared to like obviously Smash, they got a bunch of characters, but like another fighting game, it's like I don't think this roster is strong. They're not either recognizable enough or like have enough clout for the character chosen, or the mechanics are that's there is just like not matching up to me. Like where I look at the roster, like, oh, all of these characters are tight, and I'm very interested in them. I don't get that feeling from this game.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be like completely honest. I'm gonna
Like
take it
Dragon
from
Ball,
like a
like everybody was tight in that game.
yeah, and it's like how can I describe it? So like in Smash Bros, obviously Smash Bros is a marketing tool, right? They put certain people, we finna drop this game, like they put them on Smash so they can get some call, like we finna put it on the Switch or something. They using it as a marketing tool, which is cool. I can't say that Smash made me want to go look into other games and understand characters more because I might not know who they is. Like I had questions about Shulk and stuff like that. I didn't know who he was or whatever, right? But I think a lot of the presentation. First off, you got a lot of different moves and stuff that you can do in Smash. You got aerial combat, you got ground combat, then you got smash attacks, then you got like specials and stuff like that. Multiversus don't got all those things. They got some of that stuff, but they don't got everything like tilts and all that type of stuff, taunts, all that. Well, they do got taunts, but you know, you even got to buy them. But anyway, I think with Smash, when they show a character, when you see a character, you start seeing different things that they can do, and they got a lot of flair. Some of their moves got a lot of flair. They got like some sheen, some luster to it. You just like, hey, that move was kind of hard. Like I want to hit somebody with that. This me though. I might want to hit somebody at that move. I kind of want to see what they can do. Oh, they kind of got these powers. Let me go see what they can actually do in the game and kind of understand why this regular looking person able to do these sorts of different things. When you got stuff in like Multiversus, it's just looking like, I mean, I don't remember seeing Bugs Bunny fight nobody and he got like Acme rockets and things like that. But it ain't nothing exciting it ain't nothing that's like, hey, that move was hard, bro. Like, it's just a presentation of how the game is and the way it look and the moves that people do. It ain't like nothing that catches my attention and like make me want to be like,
character presentation is basic. Like they don't even have like, do they even have individual character music for each character? Because I feel like the game got 3 songs.
I mean that, and then you got like, okay, it ain't no disrespect to LeBron James. I love LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? Black excellence. You feel me? But it's just like, what is LeBron gonna do? Like he gonna throw a basketball at somebody?
Man, what you mean?
What's his theme song?
he gonna dunk on somebody? Like it just ain't. It ain't nothing that's like.
But we're
like
arguing different things now. We're not arguing what the game can. We're not even arguing what that game has to offer. We're arguing the fact that you guys, in a package deal of what you guys feel should come with a character, is what you guys have always been accustomed to in Smash. So again, you're comparing it, and I understand the
what about Fighter Z?
It's
the same thing. Like they have really good character presentation with like unique endings to the match when Vegeta fights somebody else or when Goku fight Frieza. Is like they actually
literally talk to each other though. Like Multiversus have conversations,
but those are just lines. Like that's fine, and some of them are really good, but it's like that's the bare minimum. That's like basic.
But you feel like you're fighting that individual, and you feel like you have at least something to ground you in the game that they know that at least you're playing with this person.
Fine.
That's fine.
I'm just saying that it's a basic interaction. It's not going above and beyond like the other games do.
Okay, so above and beyond that extra polish is what's killing the game for you guys, or is that just one of those points?
We're not saying that it's killing the game because we playing the game. Like we like the game, we enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? We put time in it. I'm just saying, as a fighting game, you look at the characters, what they can do, all these type of things. Like I'm sure you felt like in the fighting game, you like, y'all want to hit somebody with this attack because this attack cold, and I'm gonna make sure I can do a combo or set somebody else.
Yeah, there's plenty of things with Brawly, like Trunks. When I wanted to do the blast with his I forget what it's called now. But the blast,
the burning attack,
the burning attack, like those type of things. Yes, I want to get people and hit them with those things. But there's plenty of moves in this game that I want to get better at utilizing. Like There's plenty of
You feel
things.
like they got the shame, like you be like, yeah, man, that move like is hard. Like I want to hit him with that move, or I like to see every time that move come out because this, and that. Like, do you feel that way with that game? Because I feel like everything basic, and it's just kind of like the most satisfying thing I get in the game is hitting somebody with a meme, like a meteor smash. Like that's the best part of the game. They made meteor smashes way easy in that game. It ain't no sweet spot. It ain't none of that stuff, and it's just easy to just get off. It ain't nothing that's like visually appealing in that game, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
While you're playing
That's
the game,
a
like
that's a
if that
that's
makes sense.
an aesthetic thing, and it's not a fundamental. But I get what you're saying. True. This is a smaller publisher. It's obviously don't have the budget as a big publisher, but at some point, those things come. There's a groundwork there that you might have to fix, and there might have to be some updates. But I honestly don't think that's a big enough slight for me to kind of say that I'm still going to give it's a point, but it's not a point that I can give the. It's not changing my perspective of that. In 5 to 6 years, Multiversus, if played right, could do better, or be bigger. Sorry, not better, bigger than Smash.
Just so we don't keep talking in circles, at that point you just said, so let's say in 5 years, Multiverse is still around, is doing its thing,
Mm-hmm.
and Nintendo has been quiet. There's no new Smash game, and they like announce or come out with a new Smash game. Like, do you actually think that Multiverses in its fifth year can compete with the brand new Smash drop?
No, but that's the same thing with the Apex Legends and the Call of Duty drop. Like Modern Warfare 2, there will be some change. But at the end of the day, this game is updated more frequently. So, regardless of what Smash does, Smash can do that for the first 5 months. But when that update comes out, Multiverses will have its audience back. And that is all that matters. Like there is no beating a free to play game when it comes to updates. There is no beating it because they are on a regular update schedule. There's only is a loss when the company itself is terrible at one or two things: updating, actually adding better content, or are though if those two things are met on a consistent basis, there's really nothing that another Smash game could do to hinder it. And that again, it could serve two different audiences. I'm just saying the audience for Multiverses, in my opinion, will always be bigger because it advocates teamwork. It does not advocate singularity. There is nothing about Smash that shows me that it is a team based game. Do y'all get that? Like Destiny. Like when Destiny came out, it wasn't because we loved grinding. We loved playing trials. And the reason why we kept playing it, because I was getting two different people to play with me to play this said game. And that was the most fun. But it's the same thing. Like, no, I don't want to sit in my house and be better at this game to go compete with y'all. That doesn't make sense to me. So when it comes to who's going to be bigger and who can make the best effort, it will always be Multiverses in my eyes because that is the game built for social. It's like it's the social game. It's
Yeah,
that
and
that's that
so
that's the reason. So when I say it, I don't want to sound like I'm crazy because there's plenty of things that is making this game be better. I mean, bigger, not better. I keep saying that, and I'm sorry,
so
but
we
bigger.
agree on that point. Then they Multiverses should focus on its own thing, which is its duo and its team play mode. Because if it's in a 1v1 space, it's not competing with Smash. Basically, all I want to say is like Multiverses should do its own thing. It's the free to play
But we
game.
can't.
It's the team game, and it should
Mhm.
stay in that lane because Smash, just like Street Fighter, like there are people that love 1v1 combat and do not like team combat, but Street Fighter is always going to be around and it's always going to be relevant. Just like Mortal Kombat, it's never going to have like a pop in 2v2 mode because nobody cares about that stuff in competitive games. When a game is competitive, nobody wants a team mate like changing the flow of the game. They want a one-on-one fight. So Multiversus is not doing what those games are doing. It should do its team thing. So I agree, it might be huge, but at that point, it's not in the same category as Smash.
But you can't ignore the similarity to that game because it's in.
You can because it's doing different things and it's good at what it's
But it
doing
has a
differently.
1v1 too.
And the 1v1 mode is not as
Popular?
it's
No, I
it's
don't think
okay.
so.
Yeah,
I don't agree
so
with it. Yeah, and that's so what I'm saying is that I can't ignore. I can't say that Multiversus is not a Smash clone because that is what it's and under the underbelly that's what it is. But it has new things that it can do. That's it. So
but it's
when I
focusing on team-based combat with perks and abilities. It's not that's not Smash at that point. At that point, it's just the same genre. It's just saying that, this is a FPS shooter, this is Call of Duty. Oh, and this is Apex, a team-based shooter with abilities. Like, yes, you can shoot, but they're doing completely different things. This one got character abilities and things like that. This one has perks that you just pick from your loadout. And it's like, yes, they are both FPS. They are not doing the same thing. And so it's at that point, it don't make sense to even be judging them like Apex is better than Call of Duty because they're completely different games.
but which one is bigger?
I mean, so with that being said, I guess you can technically
But why
argue
does
like you can
I'm just
you
that's
can
because
say
that's my point. That's not little. I'm not saying it to you have to argue with it. I was saying that's my point, and I guess y'all tap dancing around it, but my point is still valid. The game may be bigger. That's it.
so you saying it could be bigger than Smash,
Yes,
but what
and
is
with
bigger?
that,
Like that at that
with
point, you saying it's bigger, but they're not doing the same thing. It's like, yes, this one has 1 million views, this one has 500,000 views, but they're not the same genre. So why are you comparing apples to oranges?
because there is an underlying similarity. That's why.
Yes, they're fighting games. Is Smash bigger than Street Fighter?
That's not the same. So, oh my god,
Are they fighting games, Deontay?
it's Mortal Kombat. Okay, let's go Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Which one's bigger?
It don't matter because they're not the same game.
But do you know which one's bigger?
I don't know which one bigger between the two of them. I mean, they both they coexisting. I mean, I don't,
Right. They both in their own lane.
which one bigger? I don't know. Which one? Can you tell us? I don't know.
I would say Street Fighter.
I mean, I guess Street Fighter bigger than I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, fine. You
I mean,
guys,
is Battlefield bigger than Apex? I mean, they
no,
shooting games.
no, it's not. Unfortunately, it's the amount of players, current players that play the game versus the not. But at the end of the day, you can't. I guess you can't quantify it because there's like this legacy of games that have come out before said game. I'm just talking about the current state of gaming now, where all of this stuff is coming to online service live games, where you can quantify the number. Like Fortnite
Hold on,
is
I gotta go
bigger
on.
than Apex, but they are in a similar battle royale space. There
So I
is
feel
this
like
concurrent number that is going to come out of Multiverses that I don't think that Smash will have in that capacity. It may be more in regards to, I don't want to say a sales figure because a sales figure is different because they're different models. But what I can say is the amount of people playing said game or eyeballs on this game will be bigger than what Smash can offer. And that
I,
is all I was saying. But
So
I
it
gotta
I
makes it
go
agree.
on.
sound like
And maybe
now.
we can check
So
back on that later, but I think the better measurement of that instead of Twitch numbers, it should be like Evo. Like this is a tournament where both games show up and they both got prizes and like which one is more popular because that actually makes sense for that space. Whereas like Twitch numbers is like at that point is also kind of anecdotal because
No,
anytime you
because
look at Twitch,
Multiversus isn't a what you're trying to put it into is that the multiverses competitive scene is equating to the Smash competitive scene. Smash competitive scenes is toxic and big, and it's nasty in nature. It's always going to be bigger because that is what that game strives on right now. It's like that's all it got. The game's. I'm not saying it sucked. The
Man, go
game
ahead,
is bad
say it. You want
in
to say it.
a lot of different ways where you only can get to that point on that big stage through this because Nintendo does not support the game that it should. So Multiversus won't have that hard, that hard stop where people are going to be like, well, since I got to get better here and then take my chances to the big streets. It's not that. That's not what it is. So,
but that's where every fighting game shows its numbers. Like it doesn't make sense to put Multiversus.
No, sir.
Yes, it is.
No.
Mortal Kombat 11. How
sir.
do fighting games not show up on the stage? Where it's like they always argue like both games came out this year, like Dragon Ball and Mortal Kombat came out this year. Which one is going to be the number one spot at Evo? Like, is that not a conversation where like millions of people be watching the best game that year?
Maybe. I don't watch Evo, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But,
so
I guess that would be that would equate to popularity and the amount of like who's going to get the center stage. Is that what you're kind of going at with Evo?
Yeah, because they always pick the number one game as far as like popularity and the number of people signing up to fight in the game, the number of people that watch the game. Like when Street Fighter 6 comes out, if Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 comes out the same year, there's going to be a big debate about which one is going to take that center stage. And if Dragon Ball FighterZ takes the center stage, people are automatically going to say it's bigger than Street Fighter 6.
Okay. All right.
So I mean, like, just going to your point, Deontay, what is going to determine if the game? I know we had said something about Evo, but we probably don't think Multiverse going to be in Evo or something. It might just be a, you know what I'm saying? It might be a huge game. A lot of people playing it and stuff like that. But like you said, it's a free to play game. It's easy access, those sorts of things. But what not benchmark, but where are you going? Yeah, what metric? What are you going to get the numbers from? Is it going to be from like the person as like the devs? Like, I mean, the Twitch streamers. Like, what's going to generate how popular that you understand that the game is? Like, or bigger than Smash? Like
with Fortnite is the concurrent players, amount of players that are actually playing the game. Like,
but that's also marketing. It's like they can pay streamers to play the game. Yes, Multiversus is sitting at 32K. It's like in the top 10, but it's doing its like free thing where you watch it and you get a beta code. So like, is that even real numbers?
Yeah,
no,
that's
not
what I was
concurrent viewers, concurrent players. I was going off Steam.
Well,
numbers.
oh yeah, they don't. I don't know how they collect that.
So they got ways to see who plays the game. Is it like amount of time you play the game? If you just go in and play one match, like what
they do,
is
that
it about
based
hours?
It's like isn't it based with daily? I want to verify that, but they have the ability to look at concurrent players. I kind of go off of Steam because the amount of PC players, like it's crossplay, whatever. The game is going to be able to be done, but at the same time, Smash can't do that. So all I can go off of with this kind of this thought process of where I'm getting at with Smash and Multiversus is whether or not I would have to literally go by it had to be a multitude of things. It would have to be presence, like the ability to even and then it's going to be those the ones that can't be quantified, and then there's going to be the quantified ones. It's going to be like amount of. I'm gonna have to go with a sales figure. It's going to be amount of sales versus this, but that again, the format is a little bit different. So maybe I have to come up with a way to kind of make sure that it's not different, or make sure kind of put it into line with each other. But then I'm also going to take into the account how much the Steam is, how many people are playing on the Steam game versus any other brawlers out there, because there's obviously different brawl games out there in the genre. So I just want to look at that number. I want to look at the amount of people, because there's going to be a sales figure for Smash, of course, when it finally new one comes out. But right now, there's definitely more people playing Multiversus than Smash, just simply because it's crossplay. It's just going to be at a point where how do we get it to the point where we can see what that number is? Maybe Nintendo finally comes out with an online service and we can see how many concurrent players are playing the game or whatever. But they probably don't give you those numbers. So it really just has to be like a feeling of what taking those things into account, which one might be bigger and that's hard.
And we finna trust the people that's marketing the game to tell them the numbers, like what they're saying about Destiny, but we can't find a match because all these millions of players playing the game supposedly.
But no, you can still back that up with numbers. They back that up with numbers though. They still can do that.
Man, I guess. I mean, y'all know a little bit more about the numbers than me. I just feel like that some of that stuff is gonna be boosted a little bit. Like if you cut the game on for 5 minutes and going to see where Zer was at and cut the game back off. Like, oh yeah, he playing Destiny. He loved Destiny. No, he just wanted to go buy something from Zer real quick and cut the game right back off. Like he not actually playing it.
Yeah, active players and stuff like that. Yeah, I get the tactics to boost that count. I'm not talking about. I mean, that stuff can be fudged. I'm not gonna lie about that. But the level of And like I said, it's going to be hard, but what I'll do is I'll invest the time to do so because this is my point. My point is that it's going to be bigger, but it's going to be 5 to 6 years from now. I just think that with that amount of time accumulated, with the roster that it's probably going to have at that point, even if they came out with a 400 character roster in Smash, it still can't beat. It still ain't going to beat it. So that's my opinion. I can't always say there's going to be facts, but what it is that I know what a free-to-play model looks like, and I know when one's done well, what it can do. So I'm going to leave it at that. Because we're way over time, like I said, and I knew we was going to argue, but let's move forward to the next topic. Anything y'all want to say lastly before we move on? Because I don't want to just cut y'all off.
No, like we talked about a lot, so I'm good to move on.
All right, let's move on then. So the Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, it dropped teaser trailer, which made no sense to me. I was like, is it a teaser or is it a trailer? So it's a teaser trailer, for the real trailer. But whatever, that whole naming convention is very bothersome to me. But yeah, they showed the first parts. We saw Ironheart. They showed Namor. Yeah. I don't know who Namor is. I had to look it up. That's obviously the Aquaman guy. That's basically their Aquaman for Marvel. I'm gonna start with the soundtrack. It was fire. That beat switch, fire. I ain't gonna hold you. What I saw in the trailer that I liked the most was everybody getting a shine, I guess. It was like this. It's like this the cinematography. It left a lot of questions though, because I was like, I guess it's a teaser, so I can't really get mad at it. But I was so confused by it was going through, and then we saw Black Panther at the end, or someone using the suit. It looked muscular. I was like, I don't think that's a female, so I immediately went to Killmonger. I was like, he obviously got saved by the fish people, and he's back. But that's my running theory right now. What do you guys think about the Black Panther Wakanda Forever trailer? Was it good? Was it bad? How'd y'all feel? Or teaser, because I can't even call it a trailer.
Man, you got the most fresh opinion on it, Jalen.
Oh, he watched it like 20 minutes ago.
Man, we argued about that thing for like almost an hour. I mean, it's probably an hour ago now. Not just but I don't know, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was looking at it, I was just kind of like, all right, I can't remember nothing from Black Panther, so I'm forgetting. I was over here thinking, I'm like, man, was that Lupita girl? Was she in Black Panther? I'm over here thinking, I'm like,
nah, she was bald headed though. Now she got a whole head full of hair.
She was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, how she got that hair so fast?
the scissor movie. That's what I was thinking about. The
Oh, you talking
Us.
about it? You talking about this is no Among
I
Us.
think
Us.
it's Us
Oh, was it called Us? Why I say Among Us? Us. Yeah.
with the tether.
Yeah.
And not just like, but I mean, I don't know. Like I had questions. I mean, I didn't know who the like you said the fish people. I thought they was taking people from Avatar. You know what I'm saying? That long movie or whatever. But I like you said. I thought it was cool that they gave everybody some shine. Like it was obviously they're showing a lot of faces and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that's cool. That get people hyped up. You, oh yeah, they coming back, and you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because a lot of people had a lot of attachments to different characters in a movie. Um, but I mean, I just had the question of like, who is the like the next Black Panther, and it made me start thinking about the I can't even think of his name. What's his name? T'Challa. That's his name. T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
What was T'Challa's like love interest in a previous movie and that type of stuff? Because I
It was
remember seeing this thing.
Lupita.
I think so. Okay, I thought it was, but like I said, I couldn't even remember if she was in a movie or not. You know what I'm saying? But she was eating them ants the other day, I think. But
Oh my
anyway,
god.
but
She blowing up on them
anyway,
ants, man. She like, ooh, this
them
looking good.
ants,
I said, girl,
these
you're
ants,
nasty.
young protein, bro, protein, good old ants, god dang ants. But I was just like, did maybe like did he have a kid or something? It'd be maybe like some
Mm-hmm.
sort of like time skip thingy. But I'm like, I don't really know. I just ain't. I don't. Yeah, I didn't know.
No,
I
they
ain't really
can't do
had
no
no like
time skip
theories and
that
stuff like
long.
that. And that's what I was thinking too. I was just like, but I mean, it's an Avenger
Yeah.
universe. I'm sure they're not gonna take nobody else and I'm like a Doctor Strange type of thing and have like some sort of like
Oh,
time stuff. I
he
don't.
could become from a different time multiverse. He could come from a different he could come
I,
like from a
I
different
mean,
place. Yeah.
they could, but I feel like they're gonna try to. I feel like at least going from the first Black Panther, I don't recall there being other Avenger things in the movie, like
Mm-hmm.
people popping up making cameos. If they've seen some other technology from like a different Avenger or different villain, or what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing none of that type of stuff in Black Panther. Like you might see in some other movies or whatever. So I feel like they might just try to leave it as is, so that probably would make the little time travel thing a little bit less likely or whatever. I feel like that'd be a little bit better suiting if they had like one of his like offsprings or what I'm saying, something like that take over or whatever. Or then you
Yeah.
said Killmonger or something like that. I'm like, if Killmonger had a change of heart if he survived or something like that. But I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I can't even remember Black Panther. When that movie come out, 2017, 18? 17. It's
I don't even
2017, I think.
know. It might have been 2017.
Because 2018 was when Kendrick Lamar album think he came out for that.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was for the movie, right?
Yeah, it
So
was for the
it should have
movie.
been 2018.
Yeah, but I think it came out after the movie came out though.
It was in 2018 because I was in New York when it came out.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, like it's a teaser, so obviously they hide all the story and stuff. They just want you to see what they look like. I do know who Namor is, but basically, like you say, he's just Aquaman from Atlantis, and it's very similar. Only thing I know about him is that the Wakandans and the Atlantis people hate each other in the comics, and so that's what the movie is going to like touch on, that they hate each other and always fighting. The main thing, of course, is like the movie. They put a lot of emphasis on all the cast because Chadwick Boseman died while they were filming the movie, and so had to change stuff up, but they didn't. They said they didn't want to recast him, and that's the whole point, is that they want to move the story forward without replacing his character
Mm-hmm.
actor. They might replace the Black Panther with somebody else, like his sister or Killmonger or whatever, but they're not gonna put somebody else in T'Challa's role. Which I understand, and I think that it was like of course, unfortunate situation. So it's like, I think a lot of people would feel negatively if they just recast him. It would be maybe kind of disrespectful. At the same point, it's a movie, and they gotta make a movie. Um, I don't know. And honestly, I'm not even gonna judge the movie that much on it. I just want to see it and enjoy it. If it's not good, it's not good. If it is, it is. But um, hopefully, it turns out good. As for Killmonger, I don't. I mean, as Black Panther, I think it could be Killmonger. Um, that would be my choice because like Michael B. Jordan, he's a good actor and people like this character. They just got to find some way to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
And they did bring him back in What If. They like a different version, different universe, and they put him away in like a separate timeline jail. And if they want to, they can pull him back, or like you said, he survived the original movie, or whatever. But I think that Marvel recognizes that Michael B. Jordan is a good actor, and I think that they would bring him back, or if not, they'll just pick the sister or whatever. So we'll see how it turns out. But overall, I think the trailer was good. That how to put it? It's like they're just trying to show that they I don't know how to put it because like I guess I'm thinking about it on the side of like the how the cast and everybody like dealt with the passing of the main actor. But as far as like the movie, I don't actually know much about the movie other than it's about Atlantis. The trailer didn't actually give that much into the movie other than they're gonna give some sort of reason why T'Challa is dead. Like that's it. That's the only thing.
Okay. Well, yeah. Um, I think it's gonna be good. I'm hoping that it's good. Um, it's a very unfortunate event, and it's kind of like I kind of want to see if they do him justice. And it's going to be interesting. I think Ryan. I mean, obviously Ryan Coogler is still um, directing, and from what I could see from the teaser trailer, it's like it looks like the budget went up for show. Even though it was a Marvel film, I think this is going to be one of those Marvel films that really gets the budget. And I hopefully it pans out because I feel like it's a lot of characters that's going to be popping up. It's going to be a lot of things going on, and I'm hoping that it truly does, be as iconic as the first one. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on it. I just wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts on that teaser trailer. I wished it was a real trailer and we got a little plot, but from what we can see, Fishman attack. He attacked it because somebody got drowned. Obviously, that water got filled there some way. They obviously buried T'Challa. They was doing like a funeral, and they had like these all white dancers, not all white, but as in like they had all white on. uh, yeah, I mean, it was it was like one of the more emotional teasers I ever watched because it was just like this great, really good soundtrack throughout, but it was also showing a lot of things. Then it showed T'Challa and Memorial, and the mural. I'm sorry, of T'Challa, and it was just like yeah, ooh, that hit a little harder, but yeah, I think it's gonna be good. I hope it's good, and I'm looking forward to
Oh,
it.
I just want to mention. I know y'all didn't watch What If, but they did kill T'Challa in What If and replace him with Killmonger, and so that's why I feel like they could do the same thing in this movie.
Oh wow, okay,
Yeah, because like he basically killed the whole story was like Killmonger actually beat T'Challa and he killed him and he became Black Panther.
gotcha. Yeah, because I remember watching one of them where T'Challa was like head of the like it was basically the Star Lord. He was part of the
Yeah,
Guardians. So I was like, "What the heck is this?" So I stopped watching. I only watched like 2 episodes. Uh, when they were talking about what's the name, and he was a barkeep. What's his name?
Drax.
Thanos. Not
Oh yeah.
Thanos. But yeah, yeah, it was still good though. Um, At least the few episodes I watch. I need to finish it up, but yeah, we'll see. So my working theory is it's Killmonger. Jalen said he might give it to somebody in a different universe, maybe. And Josh is also thinking the same, that it's Killmonger. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. But moving on, the other things that I want to talk about today was Saints Row. Saints Row is. Let's talk about games that cater to the current generation. You know, those, what they call them, Gen Z. What is it? You know, so, you know, where they have the very, I don't want to call it like, it's very heavy in pop culture today. Those games. Are those games like a turn off?
Fortnite.
No, not like a Fortnite, actually. Fortnite doesn't.
Well, it does. They put like actual rappers to perform in the show. They are definitely looking for that same demographic. Like, there's no reason to get somebody like Travis Scott or like Post Malone in Fortnite other than
those are things. Those are events. But you wrap your whole game, the entirety of your entire game, around this thing, which, like, this is what builds your characters. Like, because Saints Row is a character-based game, right? And in some aspect, it's like you have to deal with the crew. You have to deal with the crew for the entirety of the game, and you have to play with the person that they decided to make your character be. So, the Gen Z, I don't even know if the people in that category likes those games, in my opinion. I know for sure I don't. And if you know what I'm talking about, probably Jalen probably knows the most. He's probably playing Watch Dogs 2. And he's probably felt or heard a few different references that he just didn't get and they thought it was probably hilarious. And he was just like, he probably just straight faced through it. Am I wrong, Jalen?
Hold on. Say that again. Which you?
You was cracking up at all the jokes in Watch Dogs
you've
too.
been cracking up to the jokes.
I mean, like, they said certain things and stuff, but like, I mean, I guess I'm trying to like pinpoint exactly like what's like. I don't feel like we too far off of Gen Z. That's what I'm saying. So, and then Watch Dogs 2, an old game anyway. I just felt like they was in tune with what was going on in like the world, whether it's dial or I don't want to say dialect, like I guess lingo per se, like word choice, that type of stuff. I guess the way like social media and stuff work, and I just feel like they was like real in tune. But I think that game came out in like 2016 and stuff, and things obviously progressed way further since then. So, I guess to answer your question, I don't really know.
Okay. You didn't play Borderlands 3 though, right?
Skaglands.
Did you play
If
it?
I was playing,
You played it.
we had it.
I played it.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Did you meet the twins?
Hey, no, I probably fell asleep if I met them.
I
don't
don't
even
talking
remember playing
about
that
characters
game,
that are based around stuff that is currently or has currently happened probably in the last 2 or 3 years. Games that reference COVID, games that reference you know, I hate to say it, things that are very strange that people do nowadays. Dances, they reference sayings, phrases that aren't of the times, or if they are of the times, they're very fresh and maybe they have passed since development has started. Talk about games that try to cater to that group of people. If you may understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like even if the game was mechanically sound, the character that they are driving that you have to play with can cause you not to want to play the game?
Absolutely.
Trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I felt like I don't know, man. I wanted to say I kind of felt similar like that to some capacity on Watch Dogs of Marcus, but I was like, I mean, to give him some credit, he is a better black character.
Yeah,
So
Marcus wasn't bad. His characters,
he,
his supporting acts were the guy with the
yeah, his
face mask, the guy with the one that always has things pop up over his head when he was talking, like he had words pop up instead of
yeah,
actually
he was
saying
trash.
anything. Those characters,
Those I didn't like those characters because they just was they was like they felt real tropey, if that makes sense.
yeah, a
And for like a
tropey
real
character,
character, they felt trope. Like yeah,
a real tropey character, like what a hacker would be like. That's what they threw in there. Marcus obviously doesn't fit the bill necessarily because he has like a very mellow style to him. It's a little bit different. Marcus was an actual good character. I'm not trying to hate on Marcus. I'm trying to say when you were listening to people in their dialect, did it seem annoying? Because at points where it was just like, okay, oh, you trying to be funny, you ain't really funny though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and you
I've
just mentioned it like Borderlands 3 for me because like I think a lot of people agree with Borderlands 3. They really changed how they wrote the game, and Borderlands always trying to like be funny, and not everything was funny, but
mm-hmm,
that one just felt like very modern, and like we're referencing stuff that like you saw a couple months ago on Twitter, stuff like that,
mm-hmm,
and it was not good. And I think that's the problem with that type of writing is like if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna write a joke about COVID, it has to be funny and not just a lame joke. Otherwise, it's gonna come across as like a lame joke. Uh, Even though I don't like all the Borderlands games, when I played Borderlands 1 and 2, I can see like, oh, Claptrap is annoying, but he's kind of funny sometimes. Same thing with Handsome Jack. He was trying to be funny sometimes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But like what they were doing in Borderlands 3 is just like you're not even really trying. You're just throwing like
everything
it's
at
not
the
even
wall.
memes. Yeah, it's not even just memes. It's just like, you know, referencing pop culture just for no reason. And I think that's the same thing that like Deadpool does, but Deadpool actually makes it kind of funny sometimes, whereas
Yeah,
other stuff, yeah,
it
just can't
can be
do that.
done
Everybody
right.
can't write
Yeah,
it.
it can be done right, but then most of the time it's done wrong in gaming. Saints Row it hits that mark for me right now. I say all that to get to the same point. Saints Row hits that mark for me right now where I don't want to play it because of the characters. I would rather wait and buy it for cheaper. Even though the game may fundamentally look fun to play, and a lot of things you can do in the game, I don't want to deal with the characters that I'm gonna have to deal with in order to play said game. So I was watching the first 15 minutes of the game, and as they were kind of going through everything and they were talking about health insurance, they were talking about like the girl was on the 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 actual they were on their way to combat or whatever, and she started talking about her benefits and do I get paid for this, and like those tropes about us, the generation that being like they don't want to really work for anything. Like
Mhm.
I got tired of it instantly. I was like, I don't want to hear about this. So then I was like, why don't I like these games? And then I started to understand that I just like the writing. I don't like how they present those situations, and I don't like how they kind of because I'm like Grand Theft Auto 5 had pop cultures, but why did I like that game more? Simply because
Did
it
you
was
like
rooted in reality in some ways versus not just always trying to joke. It was like I guess I'm getting too old for those games that's arcadey and really just over the top when it comes to the writers.
Did you like Saints Row 4? Because wasn't that one just more like the comedy like Archer, where it's everybody in the cast is like an idiot and it's like funny?
I didn't play Saints Row 4, unfortunately.
Oh,
I
okay.
stopped playing it after 3, and um, the Saints Row the Third, I think that's what it was called. And I only got halfway through Saints Row the Third before I stopped playing. So, nah, I didn't really play 4 um, or the Get Out of Hell or whatever their stuff was called. I didn't play it. But And that's probably why I didn't want to buy a Borderlands either. So I was like, I want to play it for the looting stuff, but I don't want to hear her talk the whole time and talk with her jokes. And people were saying it was okay and funny at some points, but I was just like, I don't want to hear it, so I didn't buy it. Or when I bought it, I resold it without. I mean, I returned it because I didn't want to crack it open. I didn't want to hear it. So it started to just get me thinking about Saints Row because I'm really interested in playing it, but maybe I should just mute characters. That might be the move where I just play with
Yeah.
the dialogue all the way off. But then I'm not playing the game how they meant me to play it. So then I'm trying to figure out if I'm getting too serious or if it's just getting old. Because I guess I don't want to be someone that just like rejects a game simply based off of a characteristic of it. Because if the game overall is decent, why should this, cause me to not want to give it a try? So I don't know. I've been thinking about that, and I was like, I really enjoy period pieces for that reason, where period pieces have to take on the piece that time, and because I'm not in that time, and I don't understand that time, it gives me more engagement than I would be where I understand the time that it's in, and they're trying to actually relate to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't think people play games to uh get reminded of society, if you will. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like a game is like a scapegoat, like I guess some movies do it, you know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of like, I don't care to hear about y'all know about like COVID or I don't know, just stuff like that. That wouldn't. I feel like that would annoy me more than anything. I mean, like some of the things that you had said, like I probably like tune it out. It was certain things that they said in Watch Dogs too, where I was just like, y'all having senseless conversation that doesn't like progress the game, doesn't progress y'all character. It doesn't do anything. It's just I ain't even gonna say his mindless banter. It's just in a game setting, his mindless banter. If we was talking about it in real life, it'd be something different. But in a game setting, like y'all knowing what's going on in the world does not have any impact on or any
Yeah.
positive impact on a game. Like it doesn't. Like what is the point of this? Like there's no
Even
point.
during your missions, when they'll call in and talk to you about something, like Watch Dogs Legion had it more than Watch Dogs 2, where they'll call in and they'll say something or talk to you about something, and it's just like, bro, just let me finish the mission. I don't really want to talk right now. It's like those things where they trying to emphasize the relatability to it and like what it can showcase in this game world is really where it gets annoying to me. And I don't know how to say it outside of just like I don't want to hear it, and I'd rather not be in the reality of this world because I think it's weird right now, and a lot of stuff that's happening. There's a lot of things in games right now that make me feel like it's a and like some of the stuff isn't like political in a sense, but people make it into a political statement, and it feels weaponized sometimes when it shouldn't. It really should just be something that's there. It really should be something that's just you know available or in a genuine way. I just don't like when it feels as if the game provides something or states something to check off a box. Um, and I'm not
No,
talking
I
about,
feel
and I
that.
wouldn't want to, and I don't want people to think that's like gender or identity or whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm literally talking about sometimes when they kind of go into a topic or a conversation and they want to make a point about something, and I'm just like, I don't want to hear it right now. I'm just trying to play the game, and it's like, if I want to listen or hear about this or talk about this, I go to the news or whatever case may be where I can find information about said topic or even this topical thing that's happening in the world. Or if I really wanted to engage in this world right now, I would stay in it. I want this game to be fun and enjoyable for the things that it does right, not for what you're trying to relate to me by. And that's kind of my biggest gripe with those games. Is just be like, bro, y'all not funny. I don't know who these writers is, but y'all trash. Y'all can't tell a good story. Y'all ain't even trying to keep the momentum going in the right healthy way. Y'all just trying to make sure everybody feels um
Connected
included.
or cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, bro, I'd be like, okay, man, I get it, I understand it, bro, but it's just weird, bro, it's not even like
Yeah,
inclusion on, it's inclusion on topics, orientation, like it's like religion. It talks about racism. It just talks about so many things that sometimes I'd be like, and they try to make it into a joke, and I'm like, sometimes some things you just can't joke about. Some things you just have to let it be. And then if you don't joke about those things, like they feel like the only thing that they can write about because they can't be serious is like weird sex jokes or something stupid. Like it just becomes like, if I can't jump off of this material and actually say something worth talking about, I would rather just go back to dildo jokes, sex jokes, stupid things that are happening in the world that just don't make no sense. So I feel like the writers are either handicapped or they just suck. That's my opinion.
I
no,
mean,
I just feel
like,
like it's bad writing because if you're a good writer or can tell a good story, you can talk about anything, just about
Mm-hmm.
like comedy. Anything can be made funny if you are a good comedian because it's not just because like you can give 100 comedians the same joke, but not everybody is going to be able to make that joke land, especially if it's like a controversial topic. It
Mm-hmm.
has to be a lot of things that goes up into it. Maybe it's like build up or like some sort of backstory, or something about this person that makes uh them when they deliver this joke more acceptable than whatever. So in games, I think in the games in general, it's common to have bad writers, and so that's what you see in Borderlands and stuff like that. But if they had more time or better writers or whatever, I'm sure that they can give better stories or talk about those topics that and actually make it interesting. Because like, there's no reason that it shouldn't be interesting other than you don't know what you're doing with this material.
Agreed. Yeah, and I don't want to say Saints Row. I can't judge it by it's just first few minutes, but I know the type of game it is, and I knew going into it. I'd rather them keep the topics on what's in the happening, I guess, in the game, but also make it funny, make it actually interesting to listen to, and not just somebody just talking. I feel like it's most of the time it's just to fill space. Like they don't want you to not have anybody having a conversation with you at all times. Even when a character is saying stuff about what's happening, it just feels like it just feels bad. So I don't know.
I thought it
Yeah.
was weird on when on Watch Dogs, when I remember this one part when I was driving and then dude with the, I forgot his name. That's how much I cared about the dude. Wrench, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Wrench and Marcus was having a conversation about like Alien versus Predator and stuff. And I'm like, why are y'all talking about Alien versus Predator? Like y'all a video game, like, and they talking about all these things like the xenomorphs and is it necro xenomorphs? I think they call it.
Yeah.
And they just talking about all that type of stuff, and I'm like, so why did y'all even take time to record this in the studio? Like, if y'all trying to show me that y'all know Alien versus Predator, like get on, like just shut up talking, like you know. Like I don't care about hearing Alien versus Predator. I'm just playing the game. Not saying that it's specifically for me, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. It just seemed like they tried hard to connect to the world and want you to just sit there and think about something. And I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, Red Dead did it too. Red Dead did it in a more seasoned way. They kind of did it where it actually was talking about what the world was like. They had to tell it through a story. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it was happening and it was like same things, that same topical things, because obviously the word, not history repeat itself, but they talking about topical things about like maybe the and they tie it back to what you're finna go do. So, say for instance, you're going to kill the mayor or try to talk to the mayor, and they start talking about how the mayor did not help them when they needed something, or they had like a hard times hit them, and they couldn't get the crops or whatever. Like, it's relatable, but you know that it's all connected to what you're about to go do versus just some random crap that they throw in there so that they can fill space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, actual writers that talk, even small dialect is something that they want to make sure they're directing the character with, not just saying stuff. So, yeah, I mean, world building is important. You know, maybe I'm harshly I'm harshly judging the world that Saints Row is building, because if they're working towards building that type of world and that nobody cares, they talking about loose communication or and all this other stuff. Obviously, they're building on that world that it's really messed up, and you got to step up to take it down or whatever. But man, is it tiring sometimes, especially when your brain actually works. I think I'm just getting too old for these games, but at the same time, I don't want to disconnect from games that I could enjoy simply because I don't no longer connect with how they want to present said story or world. But you know, whatever. That's just my opinion. It doesn't have to be fact. It's just an opinion of mine that when they cater to those, when they cater to, I can throw us in there, I guess. When they try to cater to us, it comes off very generic and generalized and not interesting. So here's to not doing that again. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was Apex Legends: The Hunter's Vantage. It's Apex Legends Hunters is the new season, and that's supposed to be coming out in a couple of days. Really, the trailer. Actually, it come out tomorrow. The Outland trailer for her. I think her name gonna be Vantage, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But everybody knows she got bats. Everybody knows she weird. I don't know what all her abilities are. I think Josh, you sent us her abilities, right?
Yeah, that's what I found online. Mainly, she's like sniper.
Yeah.
She's a sniper, and her abilities are gonna feed into that somehow.
Okay.
Oh, she had. Well, I don't know if it's real, but it was a leak. But it was some crazy thing where like with her sniper, she's gonna be able to see people's like more stats about people when she aim at them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is true, might be crazy, like to actually be able to see how much damage somebody got before you even shoot at them. But we'll see what her actual abilities are when they reveal it.
Yeah, it can do legend name, shield rarity, team size, and range from where you are.
Yeah, the team
So,
size one is crazy
yeah,
if it's real.
yeah, team size crazy. You can tell like, oh, he won. He by himself, y'all. Like that's crazy. But
R.I.P. Blood, huh?
yeah, because that is best. That's a much better scan. But again, she has to know where they already are in order for that to happen. But yeah. What we thinking about Apex? Because I know we haven't played it as much. I've been playing Armed and Dangerous, but that's probably the biggest thing that's happened since in Apex Legends. Like in the last minute, it's just the Armed and Dangerous mode. Obviously, the anime event, it went off with a smash. They put out the Bangalore skin, but you couldn't see when you aim down sights with snipers, and it had no audio on the kill. But I don't know who grinded for 100,000 kills. I think it's 100,000, maybe 30,000, maybe 30,000. 30,000, not kills but damage. Is it 30,000 damage? Yeah, it might be 100,000 damage. I don't remember. But Bangalore, the skin was broken, and they wanted you to spend a lot of money for it. Um, but yeah, man, what we thinking about Apex right now? They got a new character coming out. Is that new character every season enough at this point?
Uh,
Mm.
what you think, Jalen? I feel like I'm an outlier.
Uh, I mean, I guess it's all right. I mean, what's every season like every 90 days, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that it's like straight. I guess I just felt like they need to get rid of Storm Point, bro. Like, not, not. I mean, that's a personal opinion. I'm sure some people like. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Anyways, I think that is fair. I mean, judging how some games don't come out with characters a lot, I mean, it's a lot of balancing and stuff. When they come out with character, you got to think about how the ability is going to incorporate. Is it just going to be like, you know what I'm saying, a rehash of somebody else? Like, they want everybody to have their own identity, and I think it's cool that they put like a little story and stuff with them too, so that, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
needs some storyboarding and stuff or development, whatever you want to call it. Um, so, I mean, I feel like that's fair. I mean, obviously, as you get closer to the 90-day mark, um, it's gonna start going down. You know, from day one to day 90, it's probably gonna be downtrending. Then they probably shoot back up when a new character drop because people gonna tune in for the seasons and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that is fair. I just feel like again, Apex needs to do something different to
Mm-hmm.
keep me in tune with the game, like how I was before. Like, you know what I'm saying, about a year and a half ago at this point. Um, to keep me playing the game and stuff like that because the past couple of seasons I ain't been super in tune. And I mean, it's cool that they come out with a character and stuff like that, but I mean, it ain't nothing that's like, man, I really want to play with this character and stuff like that. Because I mean, it's still Apex. You're still doing the same thing. They not changing something where you really want to like utilize the character's abilities. In some cases, it is, but not, you know, for the most part. So I think the armed and dangerous thing, obviously, that was something where people wanted to play with specific characters because of, you know what I'm saying, a benefit behind them. Like, you want people that
Yeah.
got offense outside of the snipers and shotguns and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
not as much people to play, you know what I'm saying, like a seer or something because what is he going to do? You know, armed and dangerous, but he can't do a rampart, dude. You know what I mean? So, but that's pretty much it. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I feel similar. For me, it's always been the same where it's like I enjoy the game, but I feel like they don't change enough or it doesn't evolve enough for me to keep interested. It's kind of in a holding pattern where they come out with a new character. The first 2 weeks is going to be trash because all the super competitive people going to be out and about, and then it's going to cool out. But I don't know. I feel like with the map issues that we have where we don't enjoy all the maps and it's on a long rotation, um, it really depends on is the character interesting for me, and if the character is not interesting for me, then maybe I'm not gonna play it as much because
Mm-hmm.
I haven't touched Newcastle. I don't think that he's a bad character. It's just it's not my the place I was interested in,
Mm-hmm.
so I kind of just ignored everything about Newcastle. Um,
Gotcha.
but again, it's not to say that Apex is a bad game. It's just kind of getting stale with its same pattern. I want to see they're really good. I like their game. I just want to see more, I don't know, interesting and dynamic stuff coming, not just at the beginning of the season, but hopefully throughout the season as well.
Yeah. I agree. I think they really put they put a lifeline out there for with arenas, but it just did not pop off the way they wanted it to. I think they should actually add in limited time modes like in a rotation by itself, like literally have it rotate through limited time modes to make kind of give it some more um randomness. Like I love the shotgun and sniper mode right now. It's really fun to play because it makes you engage the game differently as well as character wise, you know, positioning wise, aggressiveness, lack of aggressiveness. It's just a lot. It's really refreshing. So I've been playing a lot of Armed and Dangerous lately, and I think having those types of modes in there would be fun. I play with a ton of different characters, so I'm always like trying to figure out what would be the optimal thing for like a limited time mode. Those would be really cool, and I would love to see like a larger drop, maybe even charging for it, where they have the Titanfall and Apex combined in some way, where they have these characters that you can fight and play with, and like regular death matches and control modes and like what they have in there, but kind of in a more solidified form factor where you kind of know what's coming to it. But I think the model of their free to play is so big now that them diverting from that, I don't think they're gonna pull enough people to kind of sustain it. So they have to kind of bring it into their free to play model, into that level. And because the game is free to play, it minimizes the amount of stuff that they can do quickly. Obviously, they're making a lot of money with cosmetics, but it's still a big game and it has to sustain a lot of people. That was the same thing with Destiny. Even though you paid your $60, you had a lot of demands, you had a lot of things you wanted to add, so they always required a re up in some sense, you know? So I think they have to find a cadence. This cadence is working because people still play it, but it's going to get staler quicker than they think. And I really want to see Apex continue to thrive in a more positive way. But more people are playing it than there ever has been. So what they're seeing based off numbers is that this is working. There's a lot of people that still play it that has the same sentiment, that it could be a small thing, a minor thing, something that either comes that's big, like Modern Warfare 2. They have to really think about that. Like, if when Modern Warfare 2 comes out and people really enjoy it, and then you have the additional component of the battle royale with Warzone, it could hinder their ability to keep people engaged. So you definitely don't want to be stale around big releases. So I really want them to see a new map come in this next coming months. Or I'd like to see a map at the end of the time frame, because I think that would be no, because this is Q4, right? This is Q4, so this would be what is this going to be the last one before the end of the year?
The last character? I thought it was Q3 right now.
I know it's Q3, but Q3 ends in September, right? Yeah, then it's October, November, December.
So when is they dropping this character? Just in
Before
August.
September?
I mean, if they drop it before September, I feel like they got another drop.
They
At the end of
they
the
might
year.
be able to squeeze one in at the end of the year, or if they can.
Okay. So I don't know if they do that or if they like push that because of the holidays for their families. They just like don't drop nothing,
Yeah.
and they do it at the beginning of the year again. But I
I
could be
mean, they
wrong.
dropped. I'm trying to think. They dropped Seer, and when did they drop Seer? Like in August.
Um, when you said August, that's not August. It wasn't August. When was Seer released?
I thought they dropped Seer in like August.
April
April,
15th
so.
of 2020. No,
It was April 15th.
no. August 3rd.
So he came out
Yeah, he
in
came out
August.
August 3rd.
Who came
So
out
who
after
was
him?
after Seer? Ash?
Yeah.
Um. Oh, November 2nd.
I feel like they'll probably drop somebody in November. Or let me see if they drop in August. Yeah, November.
Wow. So they
I
do
think that they
align
need to do
themselves.
something.
They do align themselves with the big drops. Like that makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought they were going off of quarters, but they're literally just going off of 90 days after when they first started this, and 90 days after when they first started this would get them around November time frame again for their last drop, allowing it to feel refreshed and new. Because what they did with her was they dropped a new map and they dropped the character. That's when we got Storm Point. We got Storm Point in November of last year. So to understand that reality and that cue, I mean, that does change it. Basically, what they're doing is that they're making sure that their game seems new and refreshed. It's just it kind of all is like, either it's like the map gonna be good or it's gonna be trash, and it's like it depends on the map. Like, for real, that's really hard, you know. Like, if the map sucks, then the game, like, I'm pretty sure in November it's going to be it's going to be Kings Canyon with Skull Town back in it, and like they're going to be refreshing Kings Canyon. I believe that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be a new map like this, but we'll see. I mean, that gives me a little hope that they're going to keep their audience, because when Ash came out and when it first came out, Storm Point, people were playing it, and they had to play it through that first like two or so weeks. But after that, it was like a really big downpour. But at the same time, you know, Battlefield and Call of Duty, they all sucked. So they kind of won off of that by default. So we'll see. We'll see. Any last thoughts on that? Not knowing that we got Ash and that new map on November, around the window of all the big releases. Any thoughts?
No, like you said, I think whatever they come out with has to be good to keep people interested. So if they do come out with a new map, I think it is time for a new map. Then hopefully it is enjoyable. Yeah, but no matter what, Apex is always going to be good, and they don't have to shake things up. I just still think that with other games like Fortnite always doing something weird and crazy every season, it'll be nice to see every now and then Apex here. You know, like you said, here we got the Titanfall mode, and it don't have to be permanent. And if people don't like it, you don't bring it back. But I understand that's like a waste of time and money as well. But they can do more to experiment. It wouldn't hurt. I feel like at this point, because they're already so popular.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything from you, Jalen? You good? Jay Beazle.
I think we good.
Yeah, my bad. I'm good. I had it muted. My bad.
All right. Well, let's move on to the last topic of the day. We're going to talk about Callisto Protocol. Then we're going to be getting up out of here. But Callisto Protocol was one of those. Well, it was a game that was announced a while ago, but it has a release date. Thankfully, December 2nd of 2022. It is by the creators of Dead Space. And boy, oh boy, can you tell. I'm not sure if you guys seen the extended gameplay I sent over to you to take a look at, but essentially, if you don't even have to look at it, it's Dead Space. But does it look really good? It looks like the soundtrack and the sounds that they were doing, like the walk. Did you hear the walk, Josh? It was so reminiscent of like Dead Space and like the echoing through those empty halls, and man, I can't wait to play this game for real. I'm so serious. Like, I'm so excited for this game. But yeah, December 2nd, I was just going over like that Callisto's like pedigree, or not Callisto, but those developers. I don't even know like the name of the company right now, but the pedigree of ability to make a solid game, man. And this stuff is like going to be able to run on previous hardware, and it looks like a really good looking game. It could put Dead Space remake to shame because we
I
all
think
know
it
that's
is
a
honestly, but
it's gonna
um,
it's gonna be like a money grab. Dead Space is gonna feel like a money grab after this. But yeah, what's your takes on Callisto if you watched it or I don't know if
I haven't watched the whole thing that you sent me.
mm-hmm,
I just seen a few snippets. But how I feel about the game is what they're doing good is that it's show don't tell. And I feel
mm-hmm,
like with the Dead Space remake, even though Dead Space is always going to be good, it's always been like a classic game. They don't have to actually do much
mm-hmm,
to for it. But I haven't seen anything from the game that seems like, wow, I really want to play this based on what y'all did.
yeah,
They talk more about what they're doing, but I haven't seen anything that's impressive. Where everything with
mm-hmm,
Callisto Protocol, they're confident with what they're showing. Like we made that space, and what we're making is just as good, and that's what's exciting about it. So I hope they keep it up, and it's coming out in like 6 months, right? But
well, not 6 months. It's supposed to come out December 2nd.
oh yeah, so it's
It's just
four or
it's
five
this
months. Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, it's this
Okay.
year. Dead Space is the one that's coming out in like
In
February
January,
or
yeah.
January or February, one of those.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it's it's looking to be a real fun time. And I'm kind of glad that when companies can like leave their station and still come out with something like a hit, it's always cool to see because that means they're just dedicated and they understand the product very, very well. So I'm really hoping that this is a big seller for them so that they can kind of continue on there with their that this style and format of gaming because truly I have never played a game like Dead Space, and I haven't played a game that could get to the level of intensity as Dead Space did at times. Even when it came to atmosphere, when it came to moments and fights. I mean, Evil Within came close, but it was nothing compared to like walking through that spatial place and doing your first space walk. And man, that game was cold. I ain't gonna hold you, but I just think if they can nail that stuff again, which I can see that they have different areas outside of just the ship, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great experience. So I'm so looking forward to it. Jalen, did you play Dead Space?
Yeah, I played the. I ain't played the first one. I played the second one.
Oh, you played the
Wait,
second one.
two.
Yeah, I only played the second one. Just about I got to the end of it, but I forgot. I just kind of stopped playing it and stuff like that. But
Mm.
it was cool though.
Yeah.
I heard people liked it the first one a lot more than they liked it the second one. They said it was a little bit more horror based, and the second one's a little bit more action based.
Yeah, it kind of did the Resident Evil route. This Dead Space 3 was a partnership. I'm just like, bro, what are y'all doing? But
Yeah, Dead Space 3 looked like trash, but I mean, I felt like Dead Space 1 was still had like scary scenes and stuff in it. So I mean, I remember being spooked. So
I
Yeah,
mean,
two was
two
still
two was still like
it was
somewhat
still
in there
good.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just more action focused.
Mm-hmm.
But
Um.
yeah, I still think that I hope that the Dead Space remake is good because I would like to go back to it because I played through all of Dead Space like a bunch of times, like beat the whole game with just the plasma cutter and playing the hardest mode. So it's a real good game. Hopefully, if they both good, then that's a win-win for you
Yeah.
know, space horror fans. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah. So,
And if
that's
it do
pretty.
good, maybe they make another Dead Space.
Well, yeah. You talking about like the remakes? I
Yeah.
don't really want them to remake it. I want them to kind of create a four. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah, so
oh,
if the remake is good, then maybe they want to make more Dead Space.
yeah. The way they kind of ended it was like weird. Visceral was going crazy for real. For real, they was making a lot of good games, and EA. EA. No, that company, I tell you. And that's the one I told y'all. I was like, they should have bought EA instead of Activision, for my opinion. If they would have bought EA, I would have been more excited because they just have a lot more under their belt. But I'm pretty sure that ticket would have been way high because of that Madden. Just Madden alone. Like, they be scamming folks. But, yeah. It's whatever. Just imagine having the Madden and FIFA. Boy, oh boy. You know, those some scamaholics, man. That's probably about 60 or 50 billion by itself. But yeah. That's pretty much it for this episode. I want to thank you guys for listening. If you got to this part, you the real OG. I appreciate you. I thank you. Obviously, you can always find this on wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you listen. We there, because I made it a point to do that. So, thank you guys for enjoying our content. Thank you guys for engaging. You can always find me at BCD Universe on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you want to find me, Instagram. But yeah. Any last words before we leave, fellas?
No. I ain't got nothing controversial to say before we leave. Other than stop doing that task thing.
Multiversus is better than Smash? Is that what you're trying to say?
Nah, nobody trying to
not till they nerf tasks.
Span the win.
Y'all heard that?
Span the win all 2022.
Better. Ooh.
Span the win all 2022.
You heard it first. Breaking news, people. Breaking news. But thanks for listening. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.